Hello and welcome back to day 4 of my success tips, unemployed, overweight, broke, and depressed blog, and how to get away from that, how to get out of it, and how to get onto a better life. For those of you who have been following, this is day 4 of a 55-day journey from being in the position that I was in with zero in my bank account, 50 pounds overweight, unemployed, mildly depressed, and slightly, or I should say more than slightly unhappy, to a place of joy and happiness and success by December 22nd, 2013. And throughout this 55-day journey, I'll be posting this video blog with tips and advice, books to read, a different conversation piece every day to help you as well as myself to move through the situation that we're finding ourselves in right now and to get onto that better place that all of us want to be in. Yesterday, I had spoke about acceptance and accepting where you're at in your situation and trying not to fight it or blame people from your prior employer, people in your life, family members, friends, whatever you may do. The situation is what the situation is, so accept it and you have to move on. Today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about attitude. And when I say attitude, a lot of times people think of a bad attitude, right? As soon as you think of something, when I say the word attitude, what do you tend to think of? Most people tend to think of a person with a bad attitude. As you know, you never hear somebody say, well, I should say you always hear somebody say, oh yeah, he's got an attitude. Well, yeah, everybody's got an attitude. There can be a positive attitude and there can be a negative attitude. And what I want to talk to you today about is a positive attitude. Now, it's difficult in this situation to be positive. Wouldn't you agree? If you're, again, where I'm at, I've been out of work since December 20th, 2012, and 7 months now. It's tough to have a positive attitude. It really is. Every day you feel like you're getting ground on. You feel like you're getting pushed back down. It's hard to really walk around upbeat, happy. Now, when I talk about attitude, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about fake happiness, fake, walking around, singing, whistling, skipping, jumping rope, acting like everything's grand. I'm not talking about that kind of attitude or happiness. What I'm talking about is having an attitude of hope. An attitude to know that if you follow the steps in this blog that I'm going through personally myself along with you, or if you follow the advice in the books that I recommend, you're going to find that there is hope out there, that things are going to change for you. It's difficult, again, when we're at right now to overcome anxiety to get to a point where we can have a positive attitude. Wouldn't you agree? It's tough because as soon as you start to have a good attitude or think you're having a better attitude about your situation, then all of a sudden you're lying in bed at night and then anxiety creeps in of how am I going to keep the lights on? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to keep my car from being repossessed or the house from being foreclosed upon, or for me being evicted from my apartment or my house that I rent? We've all had these attitudes, or I should say these anxieties about our situation and the negative attitude of where we're at. And it's really difficult. And I want to assure you first and foremost that that's not a bad thing that you have anxiety. Now, if your anxiety is to a point that you can't function, that all you do is lie around on the couch all day watching TV and in the back of your mind ruminate on everything that's wrong in your life and everything that is scary ahead in the future of your situation and what might happen to you, that's not good. That's not what, at all encouraging. That is a really bad anxiety that has a negative control over your life. And you're going to have to work through that. You're going to have to talk to people and find a way, if you have debilitating anxiety like that, to move past it. The anxiety I'm talking about is the anxiety that just comes from time to time where, as soon as and usually it happens, if you'll agree, when you wake up in the middle of the night, right? You go to bed, you're sleeping good for the first few hours. You wake up, you have to go to the bathroom or whatever, get a glass of water, and you lay back down in bed, and all of a sudden it's just wave after wave, thought after negative thought about your situation comes back, and you feel that almost in your chest kind of anxiety where it's hard to breathe. And I'm not talking a full-blown panic attack. I'm just talking like the anxiety of what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? And that's natural. If you're familiar with the German philosopher and artist, his name was Johann Goethe, and Johann Goethe said a quote that I thought was really interesting I want to share with you today. He said that stupidity is without anxiety. Meaning that you're not stupid if you have anxiety. You're stupid probably if you don't have anxiety, because anxiety is that tracking system that tells us when we really need to worry a little bit about the situation we have at hand. And so I want you to overcome that anxiety by doing something positive every day, like I've been sharing with you on these blogs as we move forward. And if you do just one thing, like for myself, as you know from following this, I've been walking 2 miles to the library every day, a mile there, a mile back. I've been doing extensive job search, posting this blog video, sharing this content with you All of these things have really helped me to not have anxiety at night or anxiety about my situation. So I want to encourage you that if you're having anxiety, do something. Take positive steps. Take some positive action. Do something positive, and it will help that anxiety get off your mind. So anyways, we're not talking about anxiety today. I got a little sidetracked there. We're talking about attitude, but just know that I understand that it's difficult to have a positive attitude when you have anxiety like that in a situation like this, taking control of your life. And so you got to find a way to shake that. But as far as attitude goes, again, I'm not talking about the, fakey, and you know what I'm saying. People that you've met that are like, whoa, these people are way over the top, too happy about everything that's happening to them. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an attitude of hope, an attitude of just constantly reminding yourself that, look, this is where I'm at, but I'm taking steps to get better, and it's going to work out. You just have to trust that if you set the ball in motion and you start taking steps in the right direction, that these things are going to work out for you. That positive change is going to come in your life, that something good is going to come out of your situation and out of my situation where we're at right now. And so all I want to encourage you to do as far as attitude goes is every day just wake up and be grateful for something in your life. You have to have something. I mean, all of us have something. If it's a pet, even if all you have is you and your cat, then have gratitude about your cat. It doesn't matter. Whatever your situation is, you can find something to be grateful for and to show gratitude towards. And if you do that and think about the fact that you're not going to be stuck here forever, this is a place where we're at temporarily, and life will continue to go on. And if we do the right things, it'll get better. You'll find that your attitude will change. I had a family member that once told me, fake it till you make it. And they weren't referring to being insincere or, being a con person or lying to people. But what they meant was more towards attitude and the way you carried yourself. And if you fake your attitude, if you really fake your attitude for long enough of a time, you're going to find that your attitude will adjust to how you're faking it. It will truly become, your real attitude will become the attitude that you're faking to. So I want to encourage you, fake it till you make it. If you don't feel like you have a positive attitude right now in your situation, fake it till you make it. Find a way to fake your attitude, and with time, and it won't take long, you'll be surprised, and in less than a couple of weeks, your attitude will truly match the attitude that you're faking every day. So even if you have to get up and you feel anxiety and you feel anxious and upset and worried and fearful and distressed about where you're at, being unemployed, being out of shape, not having any money at all, you can still wake up and say, you know what, today is going to be great. I'm going to make something of it. I'm going to do something positive for myself. I'm going to move forward, and everything's going to be better. And even if it doesn't feel like it, if you keep telling yourself that day after day, the attitude will follow. Your attitude will become what you're saying it is by faking it every morning, okay? So that's it with attitude. I want to encourage you to check in tomorrow again. Day 5, I know yesterday I had said that I was going to give you actionable steps to take to finding a job and getting out of the situation. I'm going to hold off on that until next week. I feel that it's important for us to lay some basic building blocks that we've been doing so far the last 3 days and today. And then come next week, I'm actually going to share with you steps that I'm taking and a plan that I'm putting in place to find a job. And if you want to tune back and check back in, you'll have some hands-on, meaty elements that you can take away to actually go forward with and replicate and hopefully find a career that you've been looking for. But for today, attitude, stay positive, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. So have a great day. We'll catch up with you then. Take care.